My fellow Americans, my name is Paul Johnson, Walton, Kentucky. My day job is selling health and life insurance in Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana, but I want to talk to you today about something that's a lot more important. It's about the war that we need to fight to win the energy revolution. I've done some homework. I found what I was putting in this 2006 Prius that gets over 50 miles to the gallon, and I'm going to prove that I'm not just paying $5, but I'm paying $10, and so are you. My fellow Americans, get your pencils. This is Fuel 101. I want to list just a few of your and my gas pains. Kentucky governor just said that he wants to go to a 4-day work week. The Dow is down 25% this quarter. If you've got a 401k, that got your attention. Number 2, milk and food prices are up. Number 3, pickup and SUV sales are through the floor. Number 4, Boone County police cruisers are parked 30 minutes of every hour. Walton Verona School District has budgeted $190,000 this year for those buses. Last year it was $100,000. People are actually turning their horses loose rather than having to feed them. Does it really make sense to burn food to make fuel? Let's see. This is E85 that you and I have been putting in our tanks. That's actually 85% ethanol. What's the real cost? You've got to buy 1/3 of a bushel of corn. That costs you $2.50. In order to refine it, you have to use 1.2 gallons of fuel, which today is $4.29 plus 6% sales tax. That's about $5.50. Did you get that? The fuel that you use is $5.50 to get one of these. And then you've got to add the building of the plant, the land construction, you've got to pay their wages, the labor, you've got to pay their 401k health insurance. All that is easily $2.50. So you've got right now, this ethanol actually costs you $10 a gallon. But you only pay $5 at the pump. That's because Uncle Sam reaches right in your billfold and gets the other $5 through taxes. We haven't built a gas refinery in this country for 30 years, but we've built 137 ethanol refining plants with 77 more waiting in the wings. Don't you think it's about time that we stop digging the Slim Pickens quicksand ethanol hole? 3,000 Americans died on 9/11 when we were attacked, and we are attacked right now in an energy war that's being waged by people overseas and people right here at home. If we're going to be soldiers, we've got to go to basic training, which one says that we need to find out the facts. We need to get informed. Go to the internet and just Google ethanol gasohol. Check out wind, solar, and ocean power. We need to throw a saddle and a set of harness on everything that moves and has power if we're going to win this thing. We need to have small energy rallies in your and my home around our kitchen tables and in communities and one day in Washington, D.C. that we might be free. Sure, we need to conserve, and we need to keep our eyes on OPEC and the speculators. Call your congressman and tell them that we're going to throw out every politically correct, earmark-infected, ethanol-confused congressman that is standing in the way of the energy revolution and that you're going to remember in November. My fellow Americans, you and I weren't in that boat that Christmas night of 1776 when George Washington crossed the Delaware at Trenton, New Jersey, and turned the tide against the greatest army and navy in the world. We weren't offshore with Francis Scott Key, September the 14th, 1812. We didn't see him reach his back pocket and get a letter and on the back write 4 verses of the Star-Spangled Banner after seeing the sky on fire that night. We've never been to Afghanistan or in Iraq with that Marine carrying that 100-pound pack on his back dodging sniper fire. When George Washington came to Boston in July of 1776, it is said he looked at the task, he looked at the weapons, he looked at those troops, and it's said that he sat for half an hour in disbelief and never said a word. A British general called his troops rabble in arms. They had no flag, no uniform. It is said that when the army passed by, you could tell they'd been there, by the blood on the ground because sometimes they didn't have any shoes. When they ran out of gunpowder and lead, they fought with these kind of weapons: the corn knife, the hay fork, and the scythes. They made pikes, and I'm told that sometimes they even used stones on the ground to buy your and my freedom. But every able-bodied, able-minded American can enlist and serve in the American energy freedom revolution. We'll battle with the truth and new American technology on talk radio, the internet, and in the streets. If you're ready to go to war, give me a call. If you've got a better plan, I'll join you. Call 1-877-US 911-01, 24/7, toll free. We can and must win for ourselves and for our kids the American energy revolution. That America under God might have a new birth of freedom. That the government of the people, by the people, and for the people might not perish from the face of the earth.